Joining me now, Gene Sperling, Senior Advisor to President Biden. Good to see you. So, look, the president was clear in his message to oil companies. What can you tell us right now about his mindset, the mindset of this administration when it comes to oil companies?
Well, listen, obviously we understand how that the overwhelming force has been the unthinkable aggression by Russia and Ukraine. On January 17th, when Putin started moving troops, doing exercises in Belarus, prices were actually $3.31. That was in real terms below averages over the last 10 years. Now, as you say, $5, $1.70 higher at the gas pump for American families, even higher increases in European countries. So the president has taken action to try to blunt that with, as you know, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve release of 80 million barrels a day by allowing E15 gas to be available this summer. But you are right, he directed a lot of what he had to say to the oil companies, particularly regarding refinery profits and refinery capacities. You know, in 2020, the major oil refiners took about 800,000 barrels a day off the market. Now we are below capacity while they are having record profits, $35 billion, 225% margins. You've seen a lot of analysis saying that when oil prices were at this level in the past, gas prices at the pump had still been 75 cents lower. So, yes, he has a very direct message. We are at a time of war. This is not a time to be focusing on record profit margins and stock buybacks as opposed to doing everything you can to expand refinery capacity so that we have lower prices at the pump. And again, this is a time of war, and the president sent a very clear message on that. He's having a Secretary of Energy, Secretary Granholm, meet with the major refineries and oil companies next week. And I think he made pretty clear that he has used a lot of emergency powers so far and that there's nothing off the table.
But as you know, the American Petroleum Institute sees it very differently because they've responded to that appeal, pointing the finger at the administration's efforts to move away from fossil fuels as the real culprit here. What do you say to them?
Well, first of all, they're saying that at a time that we have record production of natural gas, near record production of oil. They're saying that even though the refinery capacity they took offline that we're dealing with right now happened under the previous administration, not this administration. So listen, the president is talking directly to them. The Secretary of Energy is talking directly to them. We are trying to work together, but that's not a satisfactory response, not for the president. I don't think it is satisfactory to the American people, too, who, again, are hearing that in the past, when oil prices have been at this level of about $120, that gas prices have been as low as $4.25. That's still too high, but I'll tell you, a lot of families would think that 75 cents a gallon would be a big help right now.
So, look, because of fuel prices, it's fueling inflation. There are concrete fears of a recession. There was one survey recently that said 60% of CEOs expect a recession in the next year or year and a half. The president believes a recession is not inevitable. Is that his natural optimism or based on something you can share with us?
Yeah, no, I think we think that too many people are not looking at the more reassuring elements of resilience in this economy right now, and they're not realizing that the American Rescue Plan put a historic number of people back to work. People have called it the great return to work. You know, today, we just got out state unemployment numbers. There are 30 states in the United States where their unemployment rate is already below it was before the pandemic hit. That's remarkable progress.
But I have to stop you. I have to stop you there.
Let me stop you there. 15 of those states are at the lowest level of unemployment ever.
And that's true. That's true. But we also have a situation with the Fed raising rates, right? It's going to be more expensive to borrow money.
Yes.
A lot of corporations already talking about layoffs, already talking about putting the brakes on hiring. Should we brace for higher unemployment, for higher rates of unemployment?
Look, this is how I would put this, which is that we all know that the record record smashing numbers we've seen on jobs, the 6.8 6.5 million in 2021, the most ever. We understand those type of record performance doesn't go on forever, and that you need to transition to a more stable and balanced economic growth with lower prices. What we are saying is that having so many Americans working back in the workforce with less household debt service, with stronger checking accounts, all of those things mean that more Americans have a degree of resilience. We're not trying to, put out a crystal ball and say we can predict all the risks in the economy, in the global economy, but we are saying that when you look at the United States, when you look at the impact that the American Rescue Plan has had on employment, on household economic security, we do think we are better positioned than any other nation to make that transition to more balanced, stable growth, even in light of some of the tough steps that the Federal Reserve is likely to take to tame inflation.
And that might include a higher unemployment rate.
Well, again, we're at 3.6%. The types of things even the Federal Reserve was talking about were all still at historically low unemployment rates. So we do believe that we can make this transition while keeping a large amount of the historic gains that we've seen in the labor market, in the job market, in terms of the unemployment rate. And again, just this week, we got another strong number on unemployment claims and saw, again, really remarkable fact that 30 states have unemployment rates. Not only have they recovered, but are actually below where we were in February of 2020 before the pandemic hit.